What's up, folks? It's Brian from Weird World War II. Doing my daily, since I missed last week or yesterday, I missed my daily paint thing. So I'm here now. Going to try to get an hour or so worth of painting and chatting with you guys. Still working on these dust things. Come along pretty good, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Just got off of Hungar's Hungar's show. Hungar the Starvarian, for those who do not know who I'm talking about. Hungar's character, cool guy. He has Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. He has a show where we just all kind of bullshit and talk about whatever. Talk about politics, talk about gaming, talk about dirty underwear. Shadow, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I didn't get my hour painting in yesterday. Me and Mel were playing that game. So got to get back to it. Yeah. So talking about your pirate game, I need to I need to I guess roll up some stats for that. I haven't played AD&D in like forever, dude. It's been forever. I probably haven't played that since I was a teenager. That was a long, long time ago, brother. Long time ago. Shit. It's funny. So like, I have this really old like painting like cover or whatever. You know, it's got like 40 years worth of fucking paint all over it, right? And like, I'll put a I'll put a new dab of paint on there, and if I'm not careful, I'll lose it in the fucking sea of other paints blotches. Well, high seas, yeah. Are we so? Well, I guess I shouldn't. Well, I guess I would know this before the game would start. It's like, are we like sanctioned? Are we like a privateers? Are we a military vessel? Are we like a commercial vessel, like a cargo ship? Are we, you know, what's the? Why are we on that ship? Are we slaves? I don't know. If you guys, I'm talking to Shadow and Sun, Shadow of Shadow and Sun. He has a cool channel. Guys, go check out his channel. Yeah, I'm trying to think what. So I stumbled across. I was looking. Like me and Mel, we'll try to watch a movie like every day or every other day or something. And I happened across one of those old, like, so Dean Martin, from the Brat Pack, or the Rat Pack, or whatever, the Rat Pack, excuse me. He in the '60s he starred in some kind of like James Bond like rip off, kind of. And I watched the Ambushers, which I used the main title scene at the end of my latest video if you want to see what it looks like. And I just watched. So he was into several of them, right? And I watched last night. We watched the Murderers Row, is what it was called. They are just fucking. Uh, they are just bonker. Man, the '60s were fucking crazy. Just like the music and the clothing and just my music and Just and I'm just sitting here, and Dean Martin's in like this movie, right? Because you guys think when you think of Dean Martin, you think singer, always has a drink in his hand, a cigarette. Well, they basically use that same persona in these movies, but he's like a private. He's like a James Bond kind of guy, and all the women are just wet for him and can't get enough of him, and he just like panties drop without having to do anything. And he's always got a drink in his hand, and he's so cool. But yeah, they're they're fucking crazy. So it's a merchant ship, okay. All right, man. Go take it easy, brother. But yeah, so it's like these fucking movies, man. They're crazy. It's so if you want to think so just imagine Austin Powers. That's what these movies are. I mean, I'm sure Austin Power was taken from his Dean Martin's movies, and the Flint movies, In Light Flint or Our Man Flint and all that. So I mean, they're just ridiculous. They're fun. They're not good films, but they're fun to watch to make fun of. So if you get access to them, give them a try because they're just so ridiculous. They're fun to they're fun to dog. You got some good looking ladies in there. I remember. So one of them, Irwin Allen, was the producer, and he was like the guy who did like Lost in Space and look at the time tunnel and shit like that. I think I'm just like, what? It's crazy. It's funny, but and I'm sure these are those movies that the drive-ins would show and all that. So they're a lot of fun. If you get a chance to watch one, give it a go and just they're not good films, but they're funny to watch. And Dean Martin is not a very good actor. He's got one range, and to be fair, the stories are designed. They're written so he doesn't have to venture too far from his on stage persona. So you get what you expect. But like this last one had oh god, who was the girl? Shit, I just went blank. I can't remember. My brain, man, I'm telling you, just don't work. It just don't work. And Margaret. And Margaret? Yeah, and Margaret, I think, is who was in it. She was like young as hell. She must have been 20, 25, maybe at the most. And she's dancing. Oh my god, she's like, it's that 60s dancing, right? Where they're just like just like having an aneurysm like for 30 minutes. And I'm like, that's how those people stayed skinny. They just dance like that craziness, and they're just like, fuck, it's crazy. Let's see here. So we watched that. What did I watch this morning? I thought I watched something this morning. I don't know. Then I watched the news. You know how fun the news fucking is. Jeez. A fucking train wreck. Guess it's just, more hate. Everybody hates each other. Everyone wants to kill each other. Everybody falls into their tribes. Ours is better than you. We're the victim. You're the persecutor. All that shit. Looks like the South is getting hit with some like crazy weather. Some cold weather. That's one thing, guys. So like, I live in Texas. So like if we get so we don't really get a lot of snow here. We get ice for whatever reason. So when we see white, it's usually ice. And man, it closes down the whole fucking state. And Texans do not know how to drive in cold, and in snowy or icy conditions, man. Not at all. But yeah. But it's warm today. It's like 60 degrees outside right now. With the sun out, it feels really nice. There's a nice cool breeze blowing. Feels really good. And I'm waiting for those FAP or some shit pieces to my printer to come in, because you got to have that to print. And man, I'm like jonesing to print, because I got a couple things I need to print up before we can start playing Dust. So these vehicles, I think it's called like the Wildfire and like the Honey, I think they are. They're basically like, honestly, guys, it'd almost be like they're man, I don't even know what you would call them. They'd be like almost like you would operate them like a motorcycle. You'd ride them like a motorcycle, but they're like walkers. So they're just like really bizarre. There's no armor on them at all. It's just like completely like no armor protection for the rider whatsoever. But I guess they're like a motorcycle, armed motorcycle or some shit. But they got like some big weapons on them. Did I paint that shit? I didn't. So we like, we live in like I live in a trailer, which the trailer park's pretty nice. It's okay. But anyway, the fucking, like, I guess, we have these forced mow days in this fucking community. I hate forced anything, dude. I hate it. Anyway, but they're out in force today. They're like driving around, and they're like, I mowed my shit last weekend, so it's no big deal. But they're like, mowing people's lawn and shit, and it's like, if you don't, you know, they don't ask you, they just do it, right? So like, they'll charge in shit. I think it's like $50 or some crazy bullshit for, I don't know. I tell you, man, people will just milk the shit out of you in any fucking way they can. Any way they can. Shit. Saw a preview for the new Aquaman movie. Man, I don't know, dude. I want to say I saw the first. I man, that's one thing. Like I watched like the Marvel movies like before. Like I stopped watching them after what, Endgame or whatever. I was done with them. But like I'm not much of a fucking DC fan. I just for whatever reason I never was a fan of like I'm not wearing hockey pads. What Christian Beale as Batman? I thought he was a shitty Batman. But a lot of people like that shit. A lot of people like those movies. I watched the first one, the one with the Joker I watched, and then the one with Two Face. Maybe that's the same one. I mean, the Joker was great. The bad guy was awesome, but like the rest of it was fucking stupid. You know, I don't think he's a good. I mean, he's a great actor. Don't get me wrong. Beale's like a fucking lunatic actor. He's really good, but I just wasn't a fan of it. And then I guess they came out with like The Flash, and they had like Michael Keaton in it. I almost watched that, but I don't know. I don't think it's enough. I don't think Michael Keaton being in it isn't enough for me to commit to watching it. I mean, it's Barry Allen. I never was a big fan of Barry Allen. He's a fucking whiny little bitch in the comic books. But I wanted to get into the the Supermans with what's his face. Uh, but man, it's just like I don't know, dude. Superman for me is always gonna be Christopher Reeve. Justin, what's up, dude? Well, when I was perusing Colts last night and found a STL for like a German helmet, right? Like the Fritz helmet with little cat ears. I was like, I thought about you. I'm like, dude, put that on your shrink it down and put those on your fascists. Please, no, thank you. Yeah, sorry I walked into the show late. Sounds like you guys were having a blast. So did you ever get those? Did you ever get the Mosley's shit painted up? Oh, was it? It was late. Oh, okay. I watched. So I went on to Mr. Max's. I subscribed to Mr. Max. Thought I was prescribed to him, but I wasn't. But I watched a couple of his videos. I watched one when you guys are doing kind of like a role playing, like a little intro role playing session or something. That was interesting. Are you guys close to each other? I don't think you are. Like I know Bear's up there. Um, you and Max. Are any of you guys close enough to like hook up and do some gaming with each other? I know Canada's a big place. Oh man, yeah, I've been like so like I've been on Colts and I've just been like being new to the 3D printing stuff. Oh, there you go. I was about to say, yeah, I mean, their uniforms are pretty much just like a jumpsuit, isn't it? I mean, it's like I don't think they're like super, too super hard to paint. Do you have an army to fight against them? Do you have like some like Brits or some British or like maybe some like cops or something? Or should do like you should do like some battle reports like Operation Sea Lion and have like Mosley's crew. like behind enemy, behind the lines, wreaking havoc, trying to take over like strategic points and stuff. That'd be cool. Give you a way to bring him out into the fray. Oh, he okay. When he moved further. Okay. Oh, he had Dad's army. That's cool, dude. I have a whole bunch of British police. From the hell those from? I can't remember what company that was. Like the like the bobbies with rifles and pistols, and I don't really need them, dude. If you're interested in trade or some shit, let me know. They're not painted. I just did a rough blue on them, but I think I got like shit like six, maybe eight, 12 of them. Be a good like little starting for like kind of like a them fighting against. Ah, shit. There we go. What system did you play? I think you told me you played bolt action, right? I think you said bolt action. Woo. Yeah. Gold. Do you have so I know Canadian shipping is like god awful. Like from I don't know. I don't live there, so I don't know for sure. But like do you have so I mean are there game shops up there that you guys can like buy products of, or is it all like you gotta buy it out of country or whatever the fuck? I'm trying to think if I know of any like I know Bob Merch is up there. He does pulp figures. He's fuck that's some great shit right there. If you want some like kind of pulp stuff, his stuff is fantastic. And he's up in Canada. He's a cool dude too. I'm not sure where he's out of though. But Pulp Figures is the company. His stuff's a little pricey, man. But shit, what is it nowadays? Everything's. I'm a cheap bastard too. So shit, I hate spending money if I don't have to. That's one thing I do. I do spend money on toys. That's for sure. But I hate spending money almost on anything else. Oh, okay, that's cool. To say shit, you can get your woman into it. Maybe you can just game at the house. You know, I don't know if she's into that kind of stuff. That's one thing I've always been pretty lucky about the women I've been with that they joined me in my wargaming. So that was always cool. Do you get any? I'm trying to think. If you told me, oh, she's completely opposed to it. That sucks. Yeah, I'm like, it's like role playing is a great like way to get like that's another thing, like, the women I've been with, they really love to role play, like, role playing games because, it's kind of like a social thing. You can invite your friends over and drink some, booze it up and have a good time. And it's kind of like it's not so in depth like a war game. It's like, I mean, it doesn't have to be. I mean, it can be like guys like us, but like, it doesn't have to be. So it can be really light and off the cuff. And in my experiences, like girls are really kind of they're drawn to that because it's like a game. It's like a almost like a board game night where they just having fun and they don't need to commit to it like we would, but give you a chance to do some just some light gaming with them. Sometimes sometimes that seed takes root though, man, and they're like they start getting into the books and they start like trying to you know reading up on the rules and like min maxing or whatever they do, and that's always fun to see them starting to get into it. Oh, you play other games? That's cool. Are you a board gamer at all? I would think most people are bored. I mean, most gamers, I'm sure, would throw down with a board game. Like most people, I think. Well, I don't know. I know some people that hate gaming just in general. It's just like not what they are into. I'm like, you freaks! How could you hate gaming? I always like the. No, I get it. I I get the other role playing. I get you. Trust me. Trust me. I have my Spider-Man costume in the closet. So I'm Peter Porker, the spectacular Spider Ham. Sometimes because he's like a pig. And Mel does call me daddy. So there you go. There you go. So I was going to ask you. Do I'm trying to say if I remember if you engaged in any role playing with anybody right now, like online or whatever. I know you play. I know you play like video games with Hungar, but I wasn't sure if you. I swore you were saying you were catching a game like online, some role playing game online with somebody. Can't remember who. A diaper play, huh? It's been a long time. No, I mean that's never been my thing. I've known people who've been into that. That's weird. I think that's weird. But shit, whatever. I mean, it's bad enough to change my kid's diaper. I don't want to change my lover's diaper. I'm sure I'll be doing that here down the road when me and Mel get older. I'll be changing her diaper. She'll be changing my the joys of getting older. But if I do wear diapers, I'd be wearing like the GI Joe or He Man or some shit diaper. Something cool. So I said I don't know if you saw. Yeah, Shadow's going to be doing that like naval kind of role playing, that fantasy role playing. You should jump into that, dude. I think that'd be fun. Or hell, I mean, if you're interested, I don't know if you like GURPS. Uh, Bo has that GURPS game we play every Friday. If you're down with that, I don't know if that's your thing. It's like sci-fi. I'm sure there's a pretty big gaming community. Oh, you're on the list. Okay. What are you gonna play? Like, what kind of class do you think? I don't, man. I have not played D&D or advanced D&D since I was like a teenager. So I don't even remember what fucking classes they had. I almost want to play like because it's like we're a ship crew or some shit. I almost would just want to play like an expert or something like almost like an NPC class. Like, you know, I built I'm the guy who makes the barrels or some shit, or I fix the sails. When I role play, I usually don't like role play to like be like badass. I try to pick like some sort of like story and just play to the story. And it's usually like, you know, that usually fucks me when it comes into combat and all that. But I just, I don't know. If I just wanted to be a fighter or some shit, I could just play a video game and fight shit. I always thought in the role playing that I like to do, I like to have like some sort of story and just follow that and just see where it takes me. The guy with one hit point. Oh shit! Yeah. Well, hell, dude, with AD&D and then like rolling up your stats and shit, it's not far off. I just remember like it always sucked when you starting up a new character and you die by a fucking like you know, like a dire rat or a fucking goblin kills you. You're just like, what the fuck? I got killed by a rogue halfling throwing, you know, shooting me with their fucking whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, I mean, it's weird. It's like you have those people that you know. It's that competition thing, dude. It's like they don't. I think people just when they play games and even with role playing, it becomes a competition, and you know, it's about winning and winning the battle or winning the scene or winning. So, you know, you want your character to be maxed out and all badass and like, you know, all the skills and all the fucking armor and the spells and all that shit. Now, listen, I used to play like that, you know, when I was younger. You know, that's just, I think that's you know, you start off like that and then you realize that that's boring as hell, man. It just gets boring. And then that's why I like to just pick a story and, you know, I'm a kitsune or some shit or fucking merman, and there you go. This is my motivation. This is why I'm here. You know, let's play this character out and see what happens. But again, you know, so like if you're playing fucking games that like you know, it's combat heavy and all that shit, you know, you usually get wasted because, you know, not all the time. I run a lot, so I run away. And it's so funny. It's like some of the people I used to play with are like, well, "Dude, what the fuck? You're weak as shit." I'm like, "Well, dude, I'm not a fighter. I'm like, you know, I'm like a librarian." Well, what the fuck are you doing here? I'm like, I got some mad librarian skills. You never know. And it's just like, you know, a lot of these role playing games kind of end up being like, you know, miniature wargaming. The all, you know, it's funny because you know, I can understand where that, you know, where that idea is. Like all RPGs are communism because it's like, you know, they expect you to, you know, be a certain thing or way or shit. That's my phone, dude. I'll be right back, guys. Come on, Nora. Sorry about that, guys. I had a phone call. Usually these phone calls are spam or something important. What the fuck? Hello? 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 Crazy. I am so like techno stupid, dude. It's like awful. I mean, not until I met Mel. I had a fucking phone that was jacked into the it's stuck on the wall. Had a wire on the wall. So all this damn 4 messages. What the fuck? But yeah. Oh, did you? Got a spam call? Let's see what this message is here real quick.
Hi, this is the Bell County Clerk's Office.
Oh.
I just wanted to let you guys know that your marriage license here is ready for pickup.
Sweet.
You do have to come to our office located here in Belton to get that. You can come in Monday through Friday, 3:30. And our address is 1201 City Road. We also only need one of you guys to come in this time with valid ID. Thank you. Have a good day.
Oh, cool. That's my marriage license. So the government has officially said, yeah, we'll let you guys get married. Not that. Gato. Yeah, it's usually spam. It's your pharmacy saying it's ready to. Hey, stop, cat! What the fuck? Jeez, cat ripping up the damn carpet. Your meds are ready. I have some meds. I have some meds, man. I need them. I need it. I need it. But yeah, so like I don't know if you know, but like in the game that I'm playing with the guys, the GURPS game, I'm a chick. I love playing chicks because it throws everybody off. They got this big fucking dude, and it's like I'm playing some girl. It's fucking hilarious, dude. And I'm playing to her character, right? And it's so fucking fun. Where's that other dude? What the fuck? It vanished. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there he is. God, I'm getting old, man. I can't. There's like, it's right in front of me. It's a lot of. It's fun. I like playing out of the box. Like you were talking about, like you want the guy that wants like the one hit point because it's fucking fun. Doing something weird, doing something funny. I don't like those guys that like come to the. I mean, there's a lot of people like this. They come to the game and they're like, well, that's not going to help the party, man. You being silly or you being, if you're not going to pick a real class and you're not going to take this serious, then it's just like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? There's people like that, and it's just like, you just laugh. You just keep doing, just playing your character. I'm not trying to sabotage the game, because that's what they'll say. You're trying to sabotage the party, man, by being, weak and doing, shit like that. I'm like, dude, I'm playing as Cindy Smallberries. She has a story, and that's why she's playing it the way she's playing it. So go fuck yourself. So anyway, it's fun. Yeah, it's not a job, dude. It's like you doing this for fun. Let's have fun with it. But again, like everything, everybody gets into that a lot of people get in that competitive mode, and it's just like, well, you gotta do that. No, I don't have to do that, dude. And then look, I've been asked to leave tables because they were saying I was sabotaging the party, or you're making us uncomfortable. I'm like, mission accomplished, suckers. But whatever. I was like, yeah, man. Like when I was younger, I used to play, the big fuck the knight. I was always into like the knights, with the Cavaliers or the I didn't like playing paladins because they're so restrictive. You know, their dogma or whatever the fuck they follow. That shit, just like, ugh. Yeah, so I get a little bit of fucking magic, but I have to be an asshole for the whole fucking game. I don't want to do that. So I was usually maybe a bard. I like to, and honestly, I like to play NPC level character. Like uh, um, classes. They don't have any of the special rules. They might get like bonuses to skills, and that's just the kind of normal tree that an NPC would get. Maybe some spell casting limited, but that I always thought it was challenging and interesting. But it's true. It's true. It is the truth. It happens. It just happens naturally. I don't know why. That's why it's weird. World War II, not World War II. It's weird. It's got to be weird. It's why we keep it weird around here. Makes us feel normal. So, like, I went to that. I went to that WWII, guidelines and all that bullshit. Trying to change the language of whatever the fuck. And I read it and shit. I'm not as articulated or cerebral as many. And I want to do some sort of video that like makes fun of it, right? Just like, and dude, you need to do that because you're a smart guy. You're a smarty. You should do some sort of like sarcastic, fucking video. And what we should we should all do? We should all do that same thing. Write up a script, to make fun of it, and we all play it out on our channels in our way. That'd be funny. Just like an open letter to Watsy or some shit like that. That'd be funny. just I can just hear it in the boardroom. They're like, well, we got to control the conversation, and words are power, and all that fucking shit. And you're just like, dude, it's a fucking game. It's a fucking game. People are doing this for fun. If someone like is reading your book and like having an aneurysm because the wording, that person is unhinged. Okay, they're unhinged, and that's going to happen if you have those words in it or not. I don't see how these people can play like aggressive, violent games and still like I just don't get it. How they function in life. I really don't get it. I mean, I'm kind of saddened by them. I feel sorry for them if that's they walk this world in such like abject fear and they feel persecuted by how just people playing a fucking game. Just like I don't know how they work in life, how they function. It's a game. Are you still work? You said you were working on a set of rules, dude. You still messing with that idea? You need to start making some content. I mean, I don't know what you would do. I mean, I guess you make content. You're a figure. You're a fixture at a bunch of other people's like channels, like their live streams and stuff. So I mean, it's not like you're not doing anything. You are. Thought experiments. So, what kind of game would you want to? I mean, like, would your game stand out in any special way? Would it like be unique, like, or would it just be just like a an ease or a deletion of something that's already just kind of a mod off of something else? Where the fuck? Because it's like when you think of role playing games. I mean, there's so many out there, but and the mechanics are relatively the same. It's not like a lot of these games are groundbreaking in their design and their mechanics. Sometimes there are some of them will have a cool aspect that maybe hadn't been thought of before, or a different way to come up with whatever. But in my opinion, it seems like most games are pretty much. I mean, if you know a game, if you know a role playing system, like back and forth, front and back, you could probably play any other game system, right? Because I mean they're similar, and that maybe that's the problem. Something revolutionary, not bag of farts. Yeah, I mean it's like it's so weird, dude, because it's like everybody's talking about the newest thing. Oh man, this new World War II game, or whatever system, whatever game, whatever. I'm like, dude, that's like there's like 20 fucking other games that deals with that subject matter and have been around for fucking 50 years or whatever, right? So it's just like, why are you buying new shit? I mean, I don't know. And I guess I guess because it's new, because it's readily available, it's in hand, it's up front, it's what's being spoken of or whatever. So that's why they do it. It's just insane. It's like the whole GW stuff, where like the new edition every fucking 7 years or 5 years or whatever it is. I'm just like, you guys are sick. You're ill. You're mentally ill to be taken like that. Like if you meant, why don't you play the system that was the last system that you played? I mean, you obviously played it because you liked it, and you obviously liked it enough to play it. So why are you buying the brand new thing if you already have a system? I don't fucking get it. Yeah, it is. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. And I tell you, and there's some guys out there that are, like that Flame Princess guy. That guy's a fucking loon. I love him because he's fucking unique, man. Um, but his system is roughly the same, but like it's the setting. It's like it's set kind of in a historical context. And what I like about it too is like, it's not fucking like this vanilla, fantasy. It can be realistic, it can be shocking and perverse and whatever, but that's cool because it's like that's what you want to fight against, because it's like the evil is fucking evil. It's not this like tamed, oh, it's a necromancer who likes to bring the dead to life and conquer the world. No, it's like this. It can be gritty. It can be shocking and horrifying. And that's like what they want to not have. They're banning words, so we're not shocked, we're not frightened, we're not sickened. But I mean, what better motivation to fight against something, than it affecting you in that way? But no, can't do that because it's too much. It's too meany. It's too meany. It's too scary. I mean, sometimes vileness, sometimes perverse, sometimes savage, sometimes horrific, sometimes you know monstrous is needed, because that's what really freaks fucking people out. And you're like, no, we got to stop this evil, this thing, this whatever, because it's like, because it's so bad. So, people that normally might have a normal life, on the farm are energized, and except unfortunately it seems like a lot of fantasy, a lot of any role playing, it's all just like um it's like profit. You know what I mean? It's like you do this shit and you reward it in money and fame. And I've never been one like that. I like games where like you're fighting something that's bad or evil, or something that's infringing on your way of life, and you trying to defend your own way of life. I think it's more satisfying when you defeat such an evil or such a power, because it means more than just getting their shit. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Exactly. It's like, ooh, the evil is a ghost in a sheet. Ooh, scary. Ow, 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 scary movies. But I don't know. I just, and and be honest with you, dude. If you're a gamer and a rational, or if you're an adult and a mature adult, and you're into like into cinema, and you're into books and all that kind of shit. I mean, you over the years you become desensitized by a lot of shit, right? So for you to really get worked up about something, it takes a little bit more, right? And all these fucking adventures should not be entry level, fucking stories for people to walk into. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, let's not have it too heavy. Let's not be too whatever, because we don't want to scare them off. It's like, no, dude, that's what you fucking want, because you want something that's like, holy shit, we got to stop that, or man, that's bad. We got to get, we got to do something about that, or I don't know. But I don't know. I don't get it. I think I would think that like as module, like the higher level modules would be more mature and adult. And I don't mean necessarily like tits and ass and shit like that, but I meant more, realistic like goals and realistic, challenges and enemies and evils and issues or whatever. Because I think there's people, supposedly there's people who played up to that level, and it shouldn't be just about your fucking stats and your special abilities and all that bullshit. Fuck that. That's stupid. It's video gaming. Let's get into a story. Let's get in there. Let's get in there. Let's form these characters. Let's play this story out. See what happens. What are we gonna do with this? There's a big bad, and it's got to go down. Let's get, and the people who are thinking the same thing, that's who you team up with. Let's go fucking get that shit. And people come and go. You lose people. The mental strain, the long term effects of this kind of shit is should wear on your character. You shouldn't just get bonuses for everything, right? You should start fucking hurting. Like you become a nihilist because of all the shit you've seen. You're psychologically damaged or physically damaged, like long term. Even the magic for some reason can't cure you from this ailment, because it's so deep and so intrinsic to who you are now, that it affects you. So yeah, it's true, man. It's like it's true. If we did that, it would destroy our way of life. People would be, they would like the what was it, the satanic panic back in the day. It's like it's too much. People won't realize reality from fiction or whatever the fuck. And I'm just like, you know what? I could do with some fiction that takes me away, but allows me to be a mature adult, and making decisions and listen, if I want to if I want to go and fuck some barmaid in a game, I should be allowed to. Just like if I fucking walk down the street and I stick a bullet in the middle, in the cabbage dealer's head, there needs to be some sort of rational, realistic, mature response to that action, and I should suffer for it. You know what I mean? So seeing that, you don't make those decisions, and if you do, you don't make them lightly because there's repercussions, and that's the kind of stuff you want. I want this realism. There's, you can't just do what you want, man, because there's always some sort of factor that's going against to what you want, and there's always those that are against you. So it's like, I don't know. I like mature gaming. That's what I like. Hey, nerd, what's up, girl? Yeah, we're talking about, me and Justin are just kind of talking about how, like, how role playing games, a lot of games, not all of them, but a lot of them are kind of really just vanilla, kind of reduced, simple, not mechanically, but just like safe. And I know, and listen, I know there's people that have problems, and I get that. Okay, and I know some people don't want their entertainment to be, realistic or shocking. But like playing this stuff for so long, I like that kind of level of like realism, and it's just because it makes me invested in it. It's like, man, this is great. This like this dichotomy of everything happening, and like, it's like new. It's fresh. It's not the same shit. There's an evil necromancer in the tower. We got to stop him before he makes everybody a skeleton and rule the world. It's like, let's have something like real, like crunchy, real life shit. But again, some people don't want that. Some people want, something ease. They don't want real life issues and real life horrors and real life, problems in their gaming because, it's too real. I don't know. I don't think like most. I've been told that a lot in my life, but I mean, I like that realism, but I don't know. Yeah, the widest net. It's true because I mean, it is ultimately these games are meant to be made for the masses because they want to sell it to as many people as they can. And you're right, that's a big factor too. It's like, let's make this so droll that anybody can play it and not, have too much difficulty with it. But again, I mean, I'm wondering if there's a line of gaming like supplements or gaming stuff that are more mature. And I don't mean, like the gonzo, pervy mature, but just mature in like the stories, mature in like, what happens, or whatever. I think there might be a need for that. Like, if you want more realistic gaming, this is, the series, or this is the company to go to if you want like realism in your fantasy. That might be an interesting thing. See that, and that's the thing. It's like, you know, just saying a necromancer, is reviving the dead to whatever, that generalization. But if you like get into like his means of doing it, or whatever, I mean, and truly make it like evil, right? it becomes more powerful. It becomes more, it needs to be taken care of. And if for whatever reasons, the powers that be aren't, it's up to us, the party, because of our families or our backgrounds or whatever it might be. We team up together and we fight this together because there's no one else. We're the strongest. Everyone else is looking up to us to try to handle this. And if we don't, then it's all for naught. It's the end. And that's a big thing. It's like you need to have those like storylines in your character that makes you give a shit, right? Because if you don't give a shit, then you don't give a shit. It becomes just, hey, I got an hour on Friday. Let's play a game. Oh, pow, 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 pew, 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 yeah, ha, ha, and it's done. But because like in some of the campaigns that I've run, these people, their characters start to develop, and then there's like they start having families and they have businesses, and then there's like they're that kind of shit, and then it's like the big bad comes in and causes a pestilence or some sort of like plague, and it kills your fucking family, and you lose all that shit you built up, right, in your gaming. Now you have a reason to be fucking angry. You got a reason to fucking hate this bad. You got because the details in their evil is real to your character, and it's like it's driving you more instead of just like, oh, you're being hired by the king to do this or blah 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 or whatever. But yeah. Yeah, when the mind flayers gather servants, exactly. Shit, dude, that's ridiculous. I mean, even on their level of like rational, like with that sentence, it's like servants are paid, right? In most when you hear the word servant, you think of like people working for somebody, not being slaves of. So it's like it's fucking ridiculous. So it just again it lessens the scene. It's one thing you walk into the room and there's a bunch of young servants serving the orc hordes, squig herds or some shit or whatever. And it's like okay, they're just people fucking feeding these fucking monsters or whatever. But no, then the next thing it's they're not feeding them, they're being fed to them, or they're slaves in shackles, and they're whipped, and they're people are dying, and then you're like, damn, that's fucking powerful. Well, let's kill these fuckers and save these people. But yeah, I don't know. I have never seen an owlbear gay sex scene. I've never seen that. Interesting. Okay, owlbears are cool though. Speaking of just owlbears are awesome. Okay, so just off the heavy topic, real quick, silly question. What is your favorite what's your favorite magical creature? That sounds so bad just coming out of my mouth, but yeah, what is your mine would be I love the hippogriff. I always like in my gaming, I try to like get a hippogriff as my mount. That's hard to do because most DMs are like, no, you can't have a fucking flying horse, bitch. Like, dude, it's not really a horse. It's like an eagle and a fucking horse, or an eagle and a lion, or whatever the fuck it is. I'm just, that's fucking cool, though. No, you can't have something that flies, man. Shit. I think they're just cool. Is the owlbear? Owlbears are fucking cool. Now, there's different kinds of owlbears. So there's like, you've seen the owlbears that look like have like the traditional kind of like the snow owl with a little beak, or they're the ones that like have like they almost look like fucking like their heads are angled. Which ones do you like? Yeah, I was always into um like the hippogriff and the griffin were my favorites. Like just growing up, I thought they were just cool as hell. Um, dude, Weird World War II has everything, man. So you can put your fantasy stuff on my Discord. Yeah, just put it like your minis on there. That's fine. I got a lot of fantasy creatures that I use in my gaming because I mean Weird World War II can be that in any can have. We got trolls and we got giants and we got dragons and I got some hippogriffs. I had some hippogriff had some character models that had hippogriffs as mounts. And I think one of them was a Battle of the Bulls. The scene was great. It was like the Germans are starting to fucking pile drive this American unit, and they're like, "Oh shit, we're fucked!" And then these two badass like hero characters, like kind of like Captain America's kind of thing, on these hippogriffs come in and start kicking asses. Fucking awesome. But yeah. So okay, so with that, what about your like favorite like monster to fight against, like enemy creature or whatever? Man, there's a lot of good like bad monsters or creature that you fight against. I like shit. I think the drow are cool to fight against because they're just slavers and they hate the upper world or dark elves or drow, whatever they fucking call them now. I think those guys were always, and they have like they're always like into poisons and shit. And then they had those what are their matriarch kind of like the spider things, the striders or I can't remember those. Those are fucking cool. Um, the mind flayers are cool too. The aboliths were cool. Those are cool. Oh, okay. Let me go check it out. Get on my Discord. You guys want to check that out? Go swing over to Weird World War II Discord on the Discord. Check your shit out. Oh, very damn. That's good, nerd. That's awesome. Hell yeah. So we played a game once where we were just walking in the forest or whatever, and an owl bear like appears out of nowhere, right? And we're like, oh shit! And then a bullet, those like bullet. I think they're called. I think they're referred to as bullets or like land sharks or whatever they call them. That thing appeared, and then like we were in the middle, and it was like they weren't necessarily like coming to attack us, but they were looking at each other, and we just happened to be in the middle of it, and dude, that was fucking crazy. That was a crazy scene. We're like, oh shit, there's an owlbear and a bullet. Fuck, let's get the hell out of here. And we got caught up in their battle when they were fighting each other. I think one of the party died trying to get. I was trying to get the fuck out of there because I'm like, I'm not gonna fight both of these things. Let's get the hell out of here. They're obviously fighting each other. Why do you want to fight them? And in fact, the guy that did get killed. So we played pretty realistic in our gaming, and so like he was like, what the hell was he? He was like I think he was a witch, or like a warlock or witch or some shit. And he was saying like I can use some of the parts of the owlbear and some of the parts of the bullet to like make some sort of spell or incantation or some shit. I'm like, that's you, dude. We don't need to be in the middle of that. Let's just let one of them kill each other, and then we can come back and just use whatever whichever one died. We can come back to it. We don't have to be a part of it. But yeah. We I made it so in my campaign I had rules where you can like you can skin the shit and like take the pieces that might help in whatever your spell casting or your incantations or whatever. I made a rule like there's like that like you have your spell component pouch, right? And it's really just like Okay, you have enough shit in there that you need if you need anything for your spells to cast, right? Well, shit. I mean, that stuff would eventually, get used up, right? So like we tried to I tried to have the party, the spellcasters that had to use that shit, they'd have to refill it. And then like if the actual spell didn't have like component, listing to it, um I would try to make up something to where you'd have to justify like either buying stuff for your component pouch after like a week or something, or and in fact there was this one book because we played Pathfinder, the first edition. There was a book where I can't remember what book it was. I might have it, but it had like ideas of like magical creatures and the pieces of them that can be used to be used in your magic or whatever. That was pretty interesting. So like after we like it got to the point where after you kill like shit, you kill a whatever, you kill owlbear, they start to skin it. They started to skin it. They started to pull out the beaks and that's claws or whatever, and then they could use that for whatever their magic, or they would sell it like back to the town. And it wasn't just like what was on the owlbear; it was like the owlbear itself could be used to like make money or to to fund the party, and because of whatever it is. And like I remember, I can't remember. Like there was some sort of flying spell that one of the guys always used, and the components was just like just some general component. I'm like, okay, let's say you have to have owl bear feathers for that now, and it takes a feather every time you cast it or some shit. So there you go. But that's fun, making things harder. It's not necessarily making it hard. It's just like making it more realistic. And one of the big things that I used to do is like if you get hit, like if the enemy actually makes contact on your physical armor, you got to go get that shit repaired, right? It acts as normal as the mechanics when it happens in combat, but then like um if you get hacked, if you get hit in the same spot, or you get hit in a similar way or whatever, it's reduced. The armor class is reduced because it got dented, or it got whatever fouled, or got kinked. So you got to go to good blacksmith, or you got to spend time to fix your armor, repair it, or it ain't no good because the armor is not going to just maintain its armor ability if it just keeps getting smacked and whacked. Smacked and whacked. Do you guys like playing like that? You guys like playing that detailed? I mean, I don't know. It's just like, I didn't like to play like that when I was a kid because, you just want to go in and kill shit and get treasure. But as I got older, I'm just like, okay, that's boring. Okay, let's split up our treasure loot. And, well, I want more than loot, dude. I want to do something for a reason. That's not very good. I don't know. That's cool. That's really cool. Mork Bork. What is that? I don't think I know Mork Bork. Is that a game system? Is that a setting? I don't think I'm familiar with Mork Bork. Sounds cool. Nano. It's not that kind of Mork. Mork from Orc. Mork from. Is that where it was from? Orc? Mork and Mindy guy? Was he? I can't remember what planet he was from. Mork Borg. But yeah, think about it. It's like that could be a whole like other like instead of you dishing out leveled treasure, or just dishing out treasure at all to any of these adventures. The party is cognitive to know that, oh shit, this owlbear head could be, we could stuff this thing and sell it to some noble for a shit ton of cash, because he's not going to go out there and risk his life to kill a owl bear when he can just buy it and stick it on, and stick it on his wall. See, that's kind of cool. That's the cool shit. Like, I like to play, just like that realism. And again, it doesn't have to be like modern day politics or anything. It'd just be as easy as like, shit, let's skin this thing and sell the skin to Jethro back in town, because I know he's into that shit, and he wants you know owlbear eyeballs for whatever reason. That nerd. That's a sweet owlbear. I have to admit, that's pretty sweet. Is that's not speed paints, is it? It's just your own, like, painting. Morkborg. Okay, cool. Thanks. A pitch black apocalyptic RPG by Occult Orkmeister Games. Huh. Sweet. Yeah, I'll check that out, dude. Never heard of it. Very cool. So that's all speed paint, huh? Shit. Oh, that's another thing, is eggs. It's like, you come across this shit, and eggs is a big thing. It's like in dungeons. I mean, even like dungeons. I mean, they could be layers, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be a dungeon, but like layers where all these creatures are, residing. They got to have like eggs and whatever down there. That's a great way to a reason to go down to these damn dungeons, to like, hey man, I heard there used to be a owlbear living in this place. Let's see if we can get some eggs, or feathers, or whatever the fuck it is. And so, nerd, you've been playing Dust Warfare. How does it play? Do you like it? I mean, you obviously like it because you play it, but I mean, have you played any other kind of like miniature wargaming? I mean, I know you played BattleTech or Mech, or no, not BattleTech, but yeah, BattleTech. Is it? I mean, it still uses the unit. I have the book. I mean, I've kind of looked over the rules. They seem pretty simple. It doesn't seem like they diverge too much from like the board game feel. But oh, you do 40K, 30K? Really? I didn't know that. I perusing Colts. I've uh I've downloaded a bunch of like Sisters of Battle stuff. That's one army I never played that I wanted to. Like, I've been playing since Rogue Trader, and Sisters of Battles came out right at the very end of second edition, and that was the edition that I stopped playing 40K. I always wanted to put together some Sisters of Battle, but I wanted to like taint them. I wanted to taint them like with Slanesh or some shit. That would be cool, because I was big into like the chaos shit too. Oh wow, dude. See, that's the thing, now being part of this world of 3D printing, I find myself surrounded by little gray men and vehicles that need paint on them. And that's the new challenge is getting this shit painted. That's why I'm doing this thing every day. It forces me. It doesn't force me. I enjoy hanging out with you guys, but it gives me a reason to fucking paint. Because otherwise, man, you always do something different. It's like you got to work, or I'd rather play a video game, or I'd rather sleep, or I'll go do this or do that, or play a game. I don't want to paint, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, 40K has a cool story. The story and the look and all that shit is really cool, but the game mechanics are shit. They're just bad. Like they say, GW is a toy company. It's not a gaming company. It's not a game mechanics company. I don't think so. It's just shit. I see the guys over on the Dust. They're Dusk Discord are like doing like the land raiders. Like they found some. They're either making 3D printed STLs for the land raider, or they found some. Yeah, you can do anything, dude. It's crazy. Oh yeah, I saw that. I haven't been on Shadow's trading room yet. That's what we need to do, man. We need to like us like 3D printer people. We need to like have a place where we can like exchange fucking STLs, or like, like, hey man, like want lists. I always thought want lists were cool because it's like, I'm cool motherfucker. So like when I'm like traveling the world, I'm always thinking about other people. Like so like if Nerd or Justin, you guys like Justin, I know you're not into fucking cat girls like I pretend you'd be, but like whenever I walk this world and I see that shit, I think about you. And so it's like, so like if there's a want list, like Nerd, if you were looking for whatever, if I see it, I'll say, hey, shit, Nerd, I found that shit, man. DM, what's up, dude? Oh, you gotta get one, brother. They are the shit. Hey, what's up, Anon? Annon, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, we're just rambling and talking about. Yeah, so one of my buddies, James from JVC Paints, he has a great YouTube channel. He's a great painter. He just pulled the trigger on I think it's a Ligu Saturn. I think it's the Saturn. Saturn's the bigger one, I think. And he's all like excited, and I'm like, yeah, dude, shit. If you have any questions, let me know, because I'm new to this too, and I'll help you not do the things that I did wrong. So, but it's like a learning curve. I mean, so like DM, don't be freaked out. Like, I mean, there's a little bit of learning curve to it, but it's honestly, it's really not that much. I mean, it really isn't. And if you have any questions, talk to me or talk to Nerd. She's fucking awesome. She's a guru in the 3D printing world. I'm sure she wouldn't. I'm sure you wouldn't, dude. Yeah, so I got the Aligo. I think I got the 2 Pro. The like I guess that's the older model. Yeah, dude. So it's great. So like as a suggestion, so like I didn't know this at first, and I bought the water soluble resin, and Nerd's like, no, 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 no. So if you do get that, use that for like vehicles and shit, like big blocky shit, right? Because when it cures, it can be brittle. It's real brittle. So you don't want like, like swords and fucking gun barrels and shit like that. You don't want that. So you want to get the let me look at that name real quick. Hold on. You want to get this kind. This is a Sue. What is it? Sun Lu ABS like. This stuff is great. So what this is, this it has a little bend to it, right? I mean, you can't just bend it like that, but it'll break. But this is the stuff you want to get. Now, this uses you use alcohol to clean and to clean everything with. But and that's why, like, if you see or at least me, if you see me wearing a mask, it's not because of the resin. I don't think the resin smells that bad at all. I mean, you can smell a little bit, but it's the alcohol vapors that when you're pouring the alcohol and you're doing whatever with the alcohol, that's why you want to wear it, because that shit can get to you. But did you say you're getting a curing station too? That's what I want for Christmas. Oh yeah, over curing. Yeah, you don't want to let it. Yeah, you don't want to sit in there. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I want to get. That's what I want, a curing station for Christmas. I'm telling Mel, I'm like, baby, you love me. I married you. I need a curing station. So, but it's like it's so funny. It's like Christmas on our end. It's like I'll buy like my kids or whatever. Like I'll buy gifts for my kids to give to people, right? And it's like I'll I'll buy gifts for like Mel or whatever, but she's usually like, "Well, just buy yourself something and say it's from me." I'm like, "What the fuck? That's not how it works. You're supposed to buy me something." But yeah. Oh, see that? Okay, so it's funny. So my kids, right? My kids are staying with their mom right now, and so I told them I got a 3D printer, and they're like, "Oh, that's awesome!" And my daughter, I don't know, it's crazy. My daughter's into Transformers right now. Like, don't ask me why. She fucking loves Transformers, but she like, she's looking for these pieces. Like she's trying to collect the old stuff or whatever. And she's like, "Oh, I got the new Starscream, but I don't have, or the old Starscream, but I don't have, the gun or some shit." So I've been secretly, they don't watch my shit. I've been secretly looking for like STLs that are like parts that she's missing, so I can just like print them up and like, paint them and then give them to her. I said, "Look, I found that gun you're looking for." Oh my God. So you can do shit like that. Because the 3D printing can be fucking anything. It doesn't have to necessarily be gaming. I know a buddy of mine, he's a leathersmith, and he'll like 3D print like, whatever, like, maybe like some sort of bauble to put on like a leather, like whatever. And he'll just 3D print up something, and it's really cool, man. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you definitely don't want your kids to get. Yeah, because that's so. Definitely wear gloves. That what is it? The nitrile gloves, nitrile, whatever however you say it. Because that it's not like acidic. It's not like if it drips on you, it's gonna burn through your flesh. But if it gets on you, it can cause irritation, and you definitely don't want to drink it. Shit. But yeah, keep them away from the little ones. Yeah, I don't. They're not necessarily chemical gloves. I think they're just. I don't know why you can't. They don't suggest use latex. It's all chemical. It's all chemistry. So I don't fucking know. I'm a drone, just following what people say to do because it works. Like I go against the grain if it works. But yeah, dude, it's it's awesome. But like on my computer, I got like hundreds of files. It's crazy. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So, Nerd says resin permeates latex too fast. You need nitrile. Yeah, you can make some. You can use the same gloves you make your meth cookies with your resin printing. But yeah, it's and I'll be honest with you. The STL community is fantastic. I mean, there's so many people out there really making like, nerd being one of the big ones, spending all this time and effort and making this stuff for free or really cheap, right? And I'm sure, I mean, like if you're a techno guy or if you're a graphic person, that makes graphics computer wise, it's probably easy to make, right? But like us laymen, there aren't in that or have that temperament or have that skill or art. It's like it's a wonder, right? So, but a lot of these people are fucking just making this stuff for free or really cheap, and I think that's great. I think that's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some that are making like these files and selling them like traditional, almost like garage kits. Like you would get like remember the vacuum form garage kits that you get of like bootleg shit or whatever. But they're selling them for like $30 or $20. But there's 30 there's three other STLs that do the same thing that are like $2 or free. So you'll see how that works. Meth cookies. But yeah, it's a blast, DM. Again, and then you need that shit box. It's a program. It's free, so don't. And you download that and you use that as like your. It's basically like it's the template that you put the files on top of. It like mimics like the face of your machine, your printer, and you put the files on top of it and you move it around to make it fit right or whatever, and then you just save it, and then that's what you print. And it's not hard at all because it's almost like Photoshop, but it's not as technical as Photoshop. It's just like it's really almost plug and play, dude. It really is. Meth, the San Francisco tree, no shit. Um, I'm not. I know what AutoCAD is, but I've never used it. But yeah, I think it's basically just like a program that brings up the file for you to look at and to manipulate. So, and Nerd, I mean, she does a lot of like conversions of other people's like of other STLs. She'll like take a piece from here and put it here, and she I think you do a lot of that in a program like that. I think. Yeah, it's like, I mean, there's some. I think like I bought these. I bought these. I think these were like $5. Like the this was like $5, right? And as you saw, I've and there's two different models, right? So like there's that one, and then there's this one, and each one was like $5 or $4. I can't remember. I think it was like $5 or $4. But I printed up like six of them, right, for just $5 or $10. But but six. I mean, and then like the weapon arms here, I think they were like a couple bucks, like three or $4. And I can print. You can print as many as you want. Shit, just give them. That's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm just like, hey Shadow, I know you like Western shit. I'm just gonna send him a big fucking box of of like resin printed, old West minis. Merry Christmas, motherfucker. So it's like it's a great. I mean, you can get most of that shit for free. You're just paying for resin, and honestly, this thing is there's probably a fourth of it left, and I've printed over at least over at least 100 minis, like 28 millimeter size figures, and then I've painted like 5, maybe a dozen vehicles. So I mean, that stuff lasts a while. It won't. So filament's harder, huh? To keep going. I don't like filament because the bad thing about filament printers. I mean, I know a lot of people use them. I know I in my personal life, the guys that I hang out with and game with, they have like multiple printers. Like they got like 5. There's like a couple, filament, and the rest are resin. They got 3. It just they're fucking old and rich, so they can do that. But like they use the filament printer for like big like terrain pieces, and it still looks like ass because you can see the lines. But I guess it depends on the filament, maybe too. Like if you get like a high res one, maybe it's better. I don't fucking know. Yeah, it just filament just it doesn't look right. I mean, it looks like far away. Like everybody's starting to talk about this like the 3-foot rule. I only paint my models for the 3-foot rule, dude. You know, it doesn't have to look cool unless it's 3 feet away or whatever. I'm just like, whatever, dude. But like, if that's that's how you choose to live. Um, I can still see that the lines and shit in a filament like building or something. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't give a shit if someone had that. But me personally, I don't want to see any lines in my shit if I can help it. Mutt, what's up, dude? Oh, Mutt. I used to think that too, dude. I used to think that too, Mutt. I'm telling you, Brian, all that money you throw down to Warlord, you can get all that shit for free. You know what I mean? For free. And then you can print like hundreds of them. You can just like print and just dive into it and swim in all these thousands of minis. Well, nothing's free. I know, but you know what I mean. You ain't paying $40 for a box of something or $30 for a box. You're paying like $2. You're probably paying $2 for the STL, after the initial cost of the printer, and then you're talking like pennies for like the resin that you use for whatever, or very little money for the resin that you use. So I don't know. They do. 3D printers do break.
Hey, honey,
Yeah, baby.
when you get off your little show with your little friends, can you go get me some Burger King?
not BK. It's
Hell
too
yeah.
expensive. It's too expensive.
I got my-
Mel's like, she's come here and say hi.
No,
Oh, you don't have any pants on?
I don't have no pants.
That's my girl. She's like, well, okay, guys. So Mel just woke up. She wants me to go get her some dinner. So, but thanks for everybody swinging by. Justin feels insulted. He's a fragile lad. But yeah. I mean, all seriousness, 3D printers. I mean, they are such a a boon to gamers that I mean, even if if you want to support the many people and all that stuff, the traditional. So I get it. But I mean, ultimately, it comes down to like your hobby and your gaming, and it's such a resource that is just fucking phenomenal. I cannot push it enough because it's really great. And again, it doesn't have to be for gaming. You can print all sorts of shit. Ashtrays and hooks and pieces to things, Hell, you can even make guns. There you go. But all right, guys. Whatever you do in this crazy mixed up world, think about getting a 3D printer and keep it weird. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.